What up, sports fans and fellow foodies? I'm Julie, and welcome to my kitchen, where every week I talk sports while whipping up culinary treats. I've been telling you at the end of my videos the last few weeks, the countdown till pitchers and catchers report. It is getting close, guys. We are in single digits. The White Sox report in 9 days. The Cubs just a smidge after that. They report in 10 days. And then it is on. Baseball spring training is underway, and we're getting ready for a new baseball season. As we love to say, hope springs eternal, and White Sox fans hoping things are going to be flipping this year. This weekend, the White Sox descended upon the south side, upon the South Loop, for their annual Sox Fest. And a bunch of their young players trying to get the fans pumped up about how this team could perform this year. I was fortunate enough Saturday night to attend a Sox Fest after party hosted by the From the 108 guys. If you follow them on Twitter, you know they are amazing Sox fans. They do a terrific job with their podcast. They do a great job hosting tailgates and events, not just for the people who sit in section 108 down the right field corner, but for Sox fans who just want to be a part of this gritty fan base that is just ready to explode for a winner. So I was out there Saturday night, got to hear from a bunch of different people on the panels the guys were hosting, including my buddy Scott Makin, who has covered this team for MLB.com for decades, and Brooks Boyer, the White Sox Director of Marketing. He was there as well, sharing some insights on what the team's going to be doing in the year ahead to get you excited about being at the ballpark and following your Chicago White Sox. So we talked about the White Sox fans wanting to see improvement. 3 straight seasons of 100 losses or more, including 2 years ago when they set the Major League record for most losses in a season. White Sox fans done with all that, praying that this team is going to take that step forward, that these young guys are going to start to gel, and that they will flip the script this season. That's why today I am making pineapple upside down cakes, but mini ones, single servings, so that we can flip them out just like the White Sox are flipping the script on the futility of the last few seasons and hoping to make an impact this year on the positive side. Big theme from Sox Fest this weekend, the young players, why not us? These guys, they're young, they're inexperienced, they don't know any better. They don't know that they're supposed to be depressed about losing or, guys on the south side that are no longer with the team. When I was looking for a bobblehead for my island tonight, I realized I don't have a single bobblehead of anybody who is currently associated with this team. So I picked my gal, Nancy Faust, because she's forever through and through a Sox gal, but none of the players I have bobbleheads of are still here. And some of that goes back to Luis Robert getting dealt this offseason, and recently, in fact, so he was kind of my last holdout among the bobblehead collection. But so many great ones coming out this year, including the first one they're going to have this season, Bobby Jenks catching AJ Pierzynski after the final out of the World Series. That's going to be a hot ticket on the south side. All right, let's get cooking. We'll keep talking baseball as we're going. What I'm going to do, I'm going to use jumbo muffin pans. I've got this one already sprayed with pan spray. I mixed up a cake mix. I used a pineapple one. A lot of people use yellow when they're making upside down cakes. I love the pineapple. The more flavor, the better. Duncan Hines makes a really good one. And then I replaced the water in the recipe with pineapple juice. If you get the 2 20-ounce cans of pineapple slices, because that's what we're going to use in our pans here, you drain off the juice, you save it, and you use it to replace the 1 cup of water in a standard cake mix recipe. It's usually 1 cup of water, half a cup of oil, and 3 eggs. This time you're going to go 1 cup of pineapple juice. And again, you're taking that from what you drained, but if you need more, if you didn't get quite enough out of the can, you can use just regular cans of pineapple juice. And this one happens to be pineapple mango, which is delicious. There's pineapple orange out there, so you can put little tweaks and twists to make your pineapple cakes stand out a little bit more. So I whipped up my batter. I have my cupcake pans sprayed here. And the most important thing in a pineapple upside down cake, besides the pineapple, is that gooey topping that you put in the bottom of the pan, and when you flip it out, it's all melty and buttery and delicious. So you're gonna make that using 2/3 of a cup of brown sugar. I have 6 or 7 sets of measuring cups. I didn't learn until today I had one that had a 2/3 marker on it. So beautiful. And then you're gonna use a 1/3 cup of butter. That is the equivalent of 5 1/3 tablespoons. So if you ever look at the side of the butter package, it marks the tablespoons for you. But maybe you're one of those people, you start to open it and you kind of lose track of where the markers are. If you need to figure it out, you cut in half. Each half is 4 tablespoons. You cut that half, that's 2 tablespoons. You cut that in half, those are 2 1 tablespoon markers. So you got 4, 5, and then you cut off a little of this one, you got 5 1/3. You're gonna melt that in a microwave safe bowl. Once it's melted, you're going to mix in your brown sugar and you're gonna get a paste that looks just like this. Very thick, very buttery. And I'm just using a regular spoon, not any particular measurement, just a little cereal spoon from my drawer. And you're gonna spoon that in the bottom of your cupcake pans. So you're not gonna use liners or anything on this one, but you're gonna use that spray and the butter that's in here to make sure nothing sticks. That's the most important part, is getting them to flip out on you. Flipping out, Sox fans. All right, so I pushed it down a little. It is gonna spread by itself after you put it in there. I pushed it down just to make sure I'm covered on the bottom. Then you're gonna pick up your pineapple slices. These will not work if you're using regular muffin tins, they're too big. If you do wanna use regular size muffin tins, you can use crushed pineapple, you can use pineapple tidbits. These you're gonna press in there and they're just gonna fit. They're gonna squish in there a little bit, but as you see, I've got mine in there in the bottom. And then after you get these pressed down in there, oh my gosh, they smell so good. After you get those pressed down, I have maraschino cherries cut in half, and you're gonna have the cut side up so that when they pop out, you see the little dome on the top. And man, just opening a jar of cherries, doesn't it take you back to your childhood? Shirley Temples and ice cream sundaes and all that good stuff. It's not like they taste delicious. It's just something nostalgic about it. And of course, when you open the jar of cherries, you have to just start eating them. You can't just use them in the recipe, right? All right, I'm using a cookie scoop here. Cookie scoop, cake scoop. I use the ice cream scoopers whenever I'm measuring things out. In this case, I'm using like a good heaping scoopful. And you use this when you want things to be even and measured and you want everything to come out about the same height. I use this when I'm doing cakes. Maybe I've got all my cake pans lined up, 8-inch, 9-inch, whatever size you're using, and then you just evenly distribute the scoops so that all your cake levels are about the same height. All right, so once you get this scooped out into your pan, they're about 2/3 full. And then they're ready to go in a 350 oven, which I've got set up over here. So we're gonna slide those in. Those are gonna bake for 20 to 25 minutes. You're gonna do the toothpick test. If you don't know that one, take your toothpick, you stick it in a cake, a cupcake, whatever you're baking. You want it to come out either clean, no crumbs, or just a few little crumbs. You don't want it to be sticky, gooey. You want it to be as close to done as possible when you put that toothpick in there. It's always kind of tricky when you're testing yellow-based cakes. Chocolate, so much easier to see the crumbs. Anyway, I digress. So we got that in the oven. It's gonna work for 20 to 25 minutes. Couple quick things I'm gonna recap, and then we're gonna take a look at the ones I took out a few minutes ago. One of the best stories I heard from Sox Fest and from the after party Saturday night, Davis Martin, he is now the veteran in this clubhouse. With Luis Robert being traded, Davis Martin now has the most service time of anybody on this White Sox roster. So he's 29, just turned 29 in January, and he is the old man of this clubhouse. He is taking a leadership role with the pitchers to develop that cohesiveness, that camaraderie. They've all been texting together in a group chain all off season, but he invited a bunch of these guys. Shane Smith, Jonathan Cannon, Drew Thorpe. He invited these guys down to his family ranch in Texas to just hang out. And it was like you would text your friends, hey dudes, wanna hang out? And everyone was like, yeah, sure. Bonding with his teammates, being a leader on that pitching staff, and trying to give this team a little bit of that good, warm, fuzzy clubhouse feeling. I know it's easy to say, hey, it was a great clubhouse when a team's winning. But the White Sox had a pretty good clubhouse last year, even when they were losing. So, something to keep in mind for this year is, are they developing that chemistry early, and how will it start to manifest in spring training? One other thing that's great to watch, the Japanese sensation, Mooney, you can call him. He is Munetaka Murakami. Got it. He is actually generating a little bit of buzz in the odds books. If you look in Vegas, at his numbers to lead the league in home runs, which, yeah, it's a little lofty, he opened the season at plus 15,000, or opened the off-season betting. He is now at plus 10,000. So 10,001 odds for him to lead the league in home runs. I'm not a gambling gal, but I would be tempted to throw 10 bucks down on that one. That's kind of intriguing to me. So all sorts of intrigue as spring training starts. Cannot wait to see this team get to spring training and get going. Like I said, the Cubs follow the day after, and so we'll be watching both teams to see how their new acquisitions are paying off. Cubs with the Alex Bregman buzz, so we'll be keeping an eye on the Cubs as well. I cannot wait for baseball to get started. All right, let's take a look at the cupcakes I pulled out. These are the ones I took out of the oven right before we started our video here. So you want to be able to rest them on something as you pop them out. And I know they got a little bit of a dome there. You can slice that down if you want. You can level it off. I'm going to pop them out. Give them just a little bitty tap. Oh, are they pretty or what? Wait till you see these, baseball fans. This is the best part. You got that little gooey brown sugar butter in the bottom. I'll eat this after I'm done recording. But they turned out beautiful. Like I said, you can level the bottoms if you want them to sit flat. But you got that pretty top there with that caramely finish. Oh, it smells so good. I just need like a coconut rum to go with these, and then I'll feel like I'm just having a big old pina colada party. So that's what we whipped up for today. But next week, we're going to be working on some Super Bowl treats. So it'll either be Saturday or before the game on Sunday. We'll drop a bunch of good Super Bowl recipes for you for your get-togethers for next weekend's game between the Seahawks and the Patriots. That'll do it for me today. I am so excited. Nancy, play me out. Oh, well, she can't. But she could play the na-na, hey, goodbye if you know, she were in my kitchen with me. I'm Julie. Thanks for being with me in my kitchen. I'll see you next time.